What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are continuing to play in the Littleroot Lessons Draft League tournament. I will eventually be able to say that without stuttering. And this week we are going against Izzy. For those of you who don't know Izzy, Izzy is very, very good at this game, and is also just like a really great person. So overall, I'm very nervous because Izzy, like I said, is amazing. She's done incredible things. She top aided a regional, which I think it was Vancouver. I forget the name of it. Went undefeated in Swiss, absolutely put on an incredible performance. Very sweet person, does a lot of good for the community, and is someone that deserves a lot of respect for a lot of reasons. And I'm really hoping to give this my all. So talking a little bit about my team, it is Zacian Kyogre, but it is a dual weather variant. Dual weather is an archetype that I've really wanted to play along for a long time. And I've never really gotten the chance until now. So looking through the team, it is kind of standard. We are running Imprison Zacian. The main idea of that is just it helps us checkmate other Zacians, especially because we don't have an Incineroar of our own to help deal with that. We also opted for Play Rough over Sacred Sword, just with the idea that it can help survive or help Kyogre survive, right? Sacred Sword does less into Kyogre than Play Rough, so having that option there is good. Next up is Kyogre, pretty standard Mystic Water Kyogre. We are opting for Origin Pulse as well as Ice Beam, so no Thunder moves, but I think that's fine because we do have a Thundurus as well. Next up, we have Venusaur, so one of my favorite sets to run. I love having both Helping Hand as well as Sleep Powder. It really just helps Venusaur say, hey, even if I'm not maxing, I can still do a lot. Leaf Storm, obviously, as well, outside of max, I wanted something that could really sort of support the team, and then Weather Ball just does what it does. Next up, we have Torkoal, so my favorite turtle with the weird-looking smoke. Could never really figure out why it is that way. Yeah, very standard set here. We have Citrus Berry for some recovery. We do have Burning Jealousy, really, as our main way of dealing with things like Zacian. Body Press, Yawn, this comes in handy versus Trick Room teams a lot. Next up, we have Thundurus, so this is a Defiant Life Orb variant. We are going with Taunt. I think that this idea of having support moves on Defiant Thundurus is really, really cool. So glad to see that come out. And then finally, Porygon 2 is pretty standard. So that's a team, and let's just get rocking and rolling and move into the games. All right, we are hopping right into things. I just need to select my team and remember the best way to go. Perfect, we have all the items. So let's just get rocking and rolling. We're hoping for the best, right? Like I said, I am definitely a little bit nervous. Izzy, like I said, is incredible. Okay, so we're going to see Incin, Zacian, Ogre, Torn, or not Torn, Thundurus, Thunder, Whim, Shroom. So I really like Zacian Thundurus here. I think that gives me sort of the best option. If we can Imprison turn one, that's going to be really good for us. I think I want Porygon. What does Kyogre really do for me? Not much. So I'm going to leave that behind. So we're going to do Zacian, Thundurus, P2, Torkoal. And so this is a little bit tricky, right? If you lead Whimsicott, or if you lead Zacian Thundurus, which I'm hoping for, right? We can immediately go for the Imprison, which is huge. And try and use that to our advantage. We are just like in a little bit of an awkward spot. We do have the potential game 2 of doing Torkoal Venusaur, right? Like that is definitely an option. So a lot of sort of flexibility here. Going into this, definitely a little bit nervous, but we're gonna take it slow. We know that we can play, and so we're just gonna give it our all. So let's kind of see here what we're expecting. We're going to see Kyogre Whimsicott. Kyogre lead, Ogre lead with Whims lead. So this is fine, right? We have Torkoal, so we do have the ability to switch the weather right off the bat and make it so that Kyogre, right? Like we can try and win that way, and if we can get rid of Ogre, we're in fantastic shape. So I'm going to switch out into Torkoal right off the bat, and go for a max lightning, right? There's nothing that wants to take that. And okay, so first of all, make sure drift is not an issue. But I think this is sort of my best bet. Changing the weather, right? Really sort of helping out what we can do in this battle. There is a chance that this is going to be Life Orb Ogre. And so I want to play around that, right? We could see just that big amount of damage come from the geyser, but I'm really sort of hoping that we can put a stop to things using our damage. And if that's the case, right, we have access to Burning Jealousy, which we haven't revealed, so we can go for damage onto their Zacian if that's a concern, as we're going to see no max, so that's fine with me, right? We should be able to get rid of this Kyogre. So doing a good amount into Torkoal, unfortunately, that will trigger our Citrus Berry, which is going to be really beneficial, right? Being able to get a lot of HP back, and more importantly, right, we do get an immediate KO onto this Kyogre, which should hopefully help us out in the long run. More importantly, too, we can, what's it called? Try and set up Trick Room or go for Imprison. Like, we have options into the potential Zacian in the back, so that is definitely helpful. We do, though, have to be a little bit wary, though, right, of the fact that we've taken so much damage on our little turtle, which makes things hard, and Izzy still has a Dynamax in the back. As we are going to see, it is going to be that Thunderous. So I am going to go for a Burning Jealousy. I don't expect to get it here. I very much expect to see a Max Airstream come out, or a Max Lightning come out into the Torkoal, right? You can't really let it hang out. I would love if you switch into Zacian and, like, let me burn both of your Pokemon, but that's probably not going to happen. We are going to see the very obvious Max come out here, and so what I'm hoping, right, is to just get enough chip damage where we can bring out Zacian and go for the KO that way. We still have access to Porygon, so that is definitely something helpful. Thunderous, we are going to see in the back, and I'm expecting Zacian to also be in the back here, as we are going to see the Energy Ball come out, most likely into Torkoal. Yep, we are going to be able to take that very well, as we're going to see the Airstream come out onto the Torkoal as well. So I think, yeah, definitely the smart play there of saying, hey, I want to make it so, I want to make it so I survive the turn and don't have to worry about a Burning Jealousy, which obviously is huge. We are going to see the Life Orb reveal as well. Life Orb. And doing, okay, so almost enough for a knockout, which is huge. The big question I have now is, can we KO, or can we survive a Max Lightning from them? We are going to bring up Porygon 2 here, and so what I want to try to do is create a... this is tricky. How many turns of Tailwind are left? That's so tricky. I'm gonna go for the Foul Play onto the Whimsicott and go for the Lightning into the that's such a no, okay, I'm gonna Trick Room here, and I'm gonna Lightning into the Thunderous. And my thought process with that is, if you get the knockout, right, we can go for the Imprison on the last turn and go for the Foul Play onto this yeah, we can Foul Play to get the knockout onto Thunderous, as we will see the Lightning come out onto my Thunderous. It is going to be enough for the knockout, and so with the Life Orb recoil, okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go for the Imprison, expecting the Zacian to be in the back. I'm going to go for the Imprison. I'm going to go for the Foul Play onto the Thunderous. I need to hope that the Foul Play is enough, which it should be. This doesn't, like, this is like a very, I'm putting 100% of the game on this turn. I'm going to go for the Foul Play here. I feel like I have to go for an Imprison just because of the fact that, right, like, I'm worried about things. I know that I can beat the Thunderous 1v1 with Porygon, So yeah, this is, we're gonna put a lot of, okay, we're gonna see the charm. Charm is charm not ideal. Please get the knockout. Oh my god, that's so bad. That's so bad. Porygon 2, you're terrible. Lightning gonna come out into the Zacian. Okay, we do survive. Thundurus is gonna go down to Life Orb. And so now the big question, right, is what does this the opposing Zacian know? We are going to see it come out here, and so my question right now is, do you have you should have Sacred Sword, so that's annoying. We're gonna go for the foul play onto the Zacian. The Trick Room is still up, right? The Trick Room is still up, and the Tailwind should still be up. Oh, there's no more Tailwind. So I'm going to actually protect this turn, just trying to sponge up some of the damage that we can take. This is a really big risk, right? You could just immediately go for damage onto this Porygon 2, but then we can try and play around it. So this is scary. We're going to see the Charm continue to come out here, and I'm guessing probably a Sacred Sword into, I would guess it's going to be a Sacred Sword onto my Porygon 2, as yeah, we're going to see the Sacred Sword here. I think, oh, that's so tricky. I hate this. Do I go for the double? I'm going to go for the double. I think that this is my best bet to try and give Porygon as many chances as it can get. We're unfortunately not going to get the double to come out. So we are going to take the Charm onto the Porygon 2. There is a chance you should target down. Okay, perfect. Zacian going to take a bunch there. That crit is actually huge. As we're going to see the Sacred Sword come out, unfortunately, into the Zacian, getting the knockout there. And so now the big question is, I think I have to. Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna take this one, unfortunately. Right? I don't expect, like I said, for us to be able to survive that situation. We're gonna see the Protect come out. So this is like, yeah, if we had gotten the knockout onto the Thundurus, we would have been in such a better spot. I think we had to. I don't know if we had to make that risk. I don't think it would have worked out in the end, right? Yeah, I think that's definitely an unfortunate way to go. And so I think the big question now is, how do we adjust going into game 2? The only hope is if we live this Sacred Sword and get another critical hit onto the Zacian to get the knockout with foul play, which I'm hoping to get. It looks like we're not. So unfortunately, nothing there. And so now the question is how do we adjust, right? We can play harder into Trick Room, and do a more conventional lead of Venusaur with Porygon 2, with the idea that we can either go for the Sun or go for the Trick Room, which I think we have to do. I think we don't really have any other options. Just sending a quick GG. All right, so I think, yeah, if we had KO'd that Thundurus, oh god, things would have been so different. I think we had to do it that way. I think, yeah, because of Charm, we had to do it that way. I think we do want to go with Venusaur Porygon 2, play it very sort of standard OG leads. I think Torkoal in the back, and then probably Zacian. Let's do that. This is a little awkward, right? If Izzy pivots into Amoonguss, we're putting ourselves in a really bad spot if we set up Trick Room. especially because we don't have max lightning because we're dropping Thunderous. I think this is a gamble for sure. I think we do have to potentially play into sleep powders, which is never fun, but it's also, yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah, but I think this pivot sort of is our best option for sure, as we're going to see Zacian Thunderous. So big sad for not what's it called, for not bringing out Torkoal, or not Torkoal, for leading Zacian, right? Like that would have been great for an imprisoned start. So now what do? We can I'm gonna Weather Ball and switch into Torkoal. I think I should have. God, I really regret not putting any bulk on my Zacian. I think we want to just try and one shot with Flare right off the bat. And then try and win. We can try and burn the Thunderous, right? We can say, hey, if you want to go for other stuff, right, we can play around it. The Airstream is a little bit tricky, so we'll kind of see what happens here. But I think setting up the Sun is good. We could have gone for a Sleep Powder into the Thunderous. I don't think that I didn't click Max. I didn't click Max. Oh my god. I would have gotten rid of that Zacian. Okay. Well, on a positive note, we can bring out Zacian and we can set up an Imprison lock. And we will take a ton from this Thunderous. But is it even worth going for an Imprison? I honestly don't think so. My main fear with that, right, is you're just gonna go for a Sacred Sword in a double up. So I'm gonna go for a Behemoth Blade here, and go for a Burning Jealousy, just trying to pick up a knockout, and go from there. Yeah, that was bad. Oh god, God. Well, I don't think we can come back from that. Losing literally our only option for Dynamax is unfortunate, but okay, that's fine, right? We're still seeing no Max come out. We're gonna get the Behemoth Blade off onto this Thunderous. This suggests to me that you have Whimsicott in the back, which is why you're willing to go for things like Protect. We're gonna see the Brick Break come out into the Torkoal, and so yeah, we get the knockout here. But I do, like I said, expect to see. Oh god, that. Yeah, because now what? You bring out Kyogre. You bring out Kyogre, and you should be able to just go for a pretty comfortable max. Or yeah, you should be able just to max Geyser. That's disappointing. Okay, so this is what we have to do. We Behemoth Blade into the Zacian, and we have to Yawn into the Kyogre. This is our only chance of pivoting this back. Because so you can only knock out one thing, right? You can either knock out my Zacian, or you can knock out my Torkoal. So either we get the knockout, we're gonna see the Zacian withdraw, probably an Incin in the back. We're gonna see Whimsicott. Whimsicott is fine. Yeah, we're gonna see Max Ogre. That's so disappointing. come out. And so yeah, I think at this point the game, it should be over, because we'll bring Whimsicott down to its sash. So you're probably going to go for the knockout. I'm guessing the knockout onto Zacian. We're gonna see the sash reveal on the Whimsicott. That's such a big deal. Max Geyser probably into the Zacian. Yep. Okay, Zacian. Going to go down there. We will be able to get the yawn off though. The big question now is, does this Kyogre have max lightning? We can max guard. Okay, we can max guard. This is such a bad spot to be in. We should have. Okay, well, we go for the Trick Room. We go for the Burning Jealousy. We're not going to get it, because you should just one-shot my Porygon 2. It is okay, so it is actually not what's it called? Life Orb Ogre, right? We know it's on Thundurus. Okay, huge. Porygon 2, huge, right? Okay, this is my comeback moment. This is a huge deal, right? Your Ogre is going to sleep. We can now go for damage. We can double up a Zacian, right? We know that this Kyogre is guaranteed to be asleep this turn. Oh god. Okay, so now we're gonna see the Zacian come out. This is turn 2 of your max. Okay, I think what we have to do here is we have to recover and we have to flare into the Zacian. So we're gonna go for the recover, and we're gonna flare into the Zacian. This is our only chance. We could, okay, so if we see, okay, we see the protect come out from the Zacian, trying to sponge a hit. We know the Ogre is guaranteed to waste its last turn of max. I should have gone for a body press to try and guarantee the knockout. Yeah, this was a bad play on my part, overreacting to what happened. We're gonna see no protect come out from the Zacian, so this should hopefully... Okay, we're back in this, right? We know that the Kyogre is guaranteed to be asleep this turn. We will be able to set the sun. Okay, so we're back in this, right? We have the sun. We know that the Kyogre is asleep. We know that we can survive the hit, which is huge. Right? So now we can start firing off. Yeah, okay, so we can go for Eerie Impulse onto the Ogre. Max Knuckle is probably going to do the most amount of damage. Okay, I do want to try though, okay, that was actually, okay, for Torkoal having 0 attack, that did a lot of damage. And we will be able to fire off some Eerie Impulses. I think getting this Kyogre down to -6 is going to be the priority. Right, we can go for another Eerie Impulse. We can then go for a second Max Knuckle, just because it's our biggest source of damage right now. Then we do have access to that body press. Yeah, Torkoal putting it in work here. All right, so we are now kind of potentially able to bring this back. We do have Kyogre right at -4. I don't know if we still have our Citrus Berry intact. Torkoal absolutely saving me right now. Let's go for another Eerie Impulse just in case, and then go for the body press onto the Kyogre. We can then potentially use more Yawn. We're gonna see the protect make sense, right? I probably want to try and set up another Trick Room and go for the yawn from there. As yeah, makes sense, right? You're trying to stall me out. Twisted Dimensions are going to return to normal, so I'm going to go for a second Trick Room here, as well as go for the yawn once again onto the Kyogre, right? Just trying to help out in the longevity. We're going to see the Origin Pulse. It is going to double connect. This is -4 in the sun. Okay, perfect. No crits. That's awesome. That's going to let me fire off this yawn onto Kyogre. We can put it to sleep after a turn, and then start recovering with Porygon, right? I just want to avoid any sort of shenanigans. And so now we can afford to go on the offensive with Foul Play. Gonna go for a Protect here, just in case. Okay. All right, so we brought it back to a game 3, which I did not expect after that turn 1. We didn't do anything with Venusaur, which makes me wonder, does it make sense to lead the same thing? I think instead, though, what we want to do actually is Zacian over... so I think Zacian with Venusaur is fine here, and then Torkoal and Porygon 2. We could do Kyogre. I don't like that. I don't like Thundurus. Let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna... I should have played the end game a little bit better. Like I said, I was trying to play it safe. Was worried. I was worried about Origin Pulse hitting. I should have just been a little bit more aggressive, but I did want to, like I said, ensure we had the sort of best chance. But yeah, now that we're getting into the game 3, this is where things get really sort of intense. I'm hoping that this adjustment pays off, right? Like if we see a Zacian, we know that we have immediate access to Imprison, and we can go for a Sleep Powder onto their Thundurus if they bring it, just trying to really put us in an advantageous position. I think saving the turtle in the back too is also a big deal, right? It lets us what's it called? It lets us have that potential weather shift. We could, so now that Izzy knows that I was supposed to max turn 1, we could see an adjustment there. We're gonna see Zacian Kyogre. So this is... this is a tricky spot. Right, you could... Right, because this is mind games of what happens here. I think the best option... No, I'm gonna switch out into the turtle. Nope, we're gonna switch out into the turtle. And we're going to go for a Vine Lash onto the Ogre. I care about getting Vine Lash damage up a little bit more, so that should hopefully work out this turn. I hope I click max this time, because if I didn't, I will probably cry. Please show me that animation on my giant plant thing. Okay, we're going to see a swap. Swap is fine. This should be Thundurus. We're going to see the Incineroar. So the Incineroar has not made an appearance yet, and it's finally going to come out here. So Incin coming out back. Not something we've seen before. Perfect. Okay, perfect. We're seeing the Kyogre, or the, what's it called? The Venusaur going for the max here. So we should be able to get a good amount of residual. If Izzy, I mean, I feel like Izzy has to max Kyogre here, right? I should have. Okay. This is good. We're going to be able to fire off a ton of damage onto this Kyogre right off the bat, right? Okay, just kidding. That is not a lot of damage. Sad. Very sad. That's good chip. Okay, so I'm calling... I feel like the Kyogre is going to switch here. I feel like the Kyogre is going to switch into Zacian. But I don't care. That's the thing. We're going to see the Kyogre. This should be Zacian. We're going to see a Mungus. Shroom in the back. So we're seeing... Okay, so we're seeing Dynamax Cat, which is not something we saw before, which makes a lot of sense, given, right, the fact that... okay, so I should have brought Thundurus here. It's fine. It's still fine. We have Max Flare, and more importantly, we have access to a Focus Sash. So that's going to come in handy. We're going to get the Vine Lash off into the Amoonguss, doing not that much. And so now what we could see, we're going to see the Flare into the Venusaur, bringing us right down to that Focus Sash, which is a big deal. So now is the question, right? Now is a very tricky turn. Because I want to Flare into the Amoonguss spot. I'm going to Flare into the Amoonguss spot. And go for another Body Press onto the Incin. Flare here, right? I'm more worried about getting rid of this Amoonguss than anything else. We could see a switch into the Kyogre, but we're not going to see that. So that's actually huge for us, right? Being able to get a ton of damage. Not enough for the knockout, though. That's actually very relevant, as the Strike going to come out onto the little turtle. And so probably putting Torkoal to sleep here. And more importantly, making it so if you switch out, you're going to be faster, as we're going to see the Foul Play reveal as well. So not going for, what's it called? Not going for the words, the Spore. And we're going to get a good amount of chip onto the Incineroar, as it will take a ton of chip from that Vine Lash. So what I think I want to do now is I'm going to bring out Porygon. The thought process with that is we can threaten the knockout onto the Amoonguss, hopefully with Foul Play, right? It should be in range, and go for another Body Press onto the Incineroar, as neither of these two things really threaten us. So gonna go straight for the Body Press onto the Incin. Go for this is actually a really bad spot. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna switch into Zacian and go for a Foul Play onto this Amoonguss, because I need control of the weather for that Kyogre to come in. And so what I'm hoping to do right now is set up for an endgame that we can win. I am worried potentially, though, about Amoonguss doing some shenanigans. We are going to see just the Max Darkness coming out, probably into the Zacian. Yep, into the Zacian. And so now we should hopefully be able to finish off the Amoonguss. If we don't, we're in really bad shape. But, you know, we're kind of praying. Foul Play going to come out. Please get the knockout. Perfect. Okay. Huge, huge, huge. Incin going to take a ton of recoil, or not recoil, chip from that Vine Lash. And so now is the question of what comes out. We're going to see the Zacian. And so I cannot survive. Okay, so I know that I cannot survive a hit from the Incineroar. So my question now is, do you have a turn of Vine Lash left? No. I'm going to go for a Foul Play onto the Incineroar. The Protect is obvious. You could... Okay, so if you double up into Porygon 2, that is not ideal. That's, like, really bad. That's, like, the worst case scenario. So this is a pretty pivotal turn. I'm hoping for a Protect from the Zacian and a Flare Blitz into... Yeah, that's the ideal, right? Protect Zacian, Flare Blitz into... my Zacian, as we're going to see Moment of Truth. We're going to see the Sacred Sword, very smart predict, going into the Porygon 2. The question now is, where's that Flare Blitz? We're going to see the animation. So, yeah, unfortunate there. So that was a super good read by Izzy. Not enough for the knockout either. We have Torkoal. Okay, so here's how do we do this? We double protect. We have to double protect. Does double protect get us there? I don't think double protect even gets us there. God, I hate that. Okay, so if we crit the Zacian, that's our out, right? We crit the Zacian. God, oh, that was such a good play by Izzy. Because we're gonna lose to the Kyogre in the back, which is just gonna come out and like absolutely demolish us unless we crit, which we don't. So we're not gonna get that. The Sacred Sword though gonna come out into the Zacian. We do survive it, and so we're gonna see the Flare Blitz, right? Obviously going into the Zacian, picking up the knockout there, and so it doesn't matter that we go for damage, right? You are gonna feint to the recoil. Double protect might have gotten us there. What would double protect have done? It would have knocked out the Zacian, or not the Zacian. It would have knocked out the Ensign, and gotten a ton of chip onto the Zacian. And then we could go for a play rough. So yeah, I probably should have double protected there. So that is definitely my bad. There is no chance that we can win this. The little turtle, unfortunately, not going to be able to save us there. So I think, yeah, I think we should have gone for the double. Double actually would have been our saving grace. But it is what it is. Huge shout out to Izzy. Congratulations on the win. Very much deserved. Izzy is just such an incredible battler. And it's been an awesome time to be able to play this match. So congrats on the win. We still are taking it this week. So 2-0 for the Chicago Doubled Arms, and let's just keep rocking and rolling.